What is up? What is up, my peoples? It is Saturday night once again. We're on the Best Coast with the Best Coast crew. What's going on? Got a lot to talk about.
How you doing, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you guys are at, watching, tuning in.
'Twas the night before kickoff. It was your birthday.
Yep. Yeah. All the people watching. It is my birthday weekend, and what a better birthday gift than handing, the Broncos a L. So that's definitely something that I am looking forward to for sure.
Keep our tradition.
We'll delve definitely into that for sure. But we got a lot of things to definitely discuss here. We got a lot of things to talk about here. So I'm sure you would like to talk about the Raiders versus the Browns game first, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Just to follow up on the numbers with the Broncos because we dislike them so much. Not only have they never beaten the Las Vegas Raiders, but we've beaten them 10 out of the last 11 matchups. So let's keep that going.
The only thing I don't like about that is just statistically, we're bound to lose a game just statistically. I mean, but we can keep it going, though. We can go like 10, 12, 13, 14 in a row, though,
I've seen worse. Yeah,
it
happens. Usually it'd be streaks like that. You know what I mean? One team is just kind of how it works. And then you look at the whole overall record, and it'll be pretty damn even, except for, us versus the Chargers. Anyway, the Raiders won their game 20-16.
I won't go full gas here on it because I'm sure we'll talk about it more. But I just would like to say the low key, man. The Denver Broncos got a pretty good defense, and they're definitely a different team than what they were last year, and so that's all I'm going to say about that, and then we'll talk more further about it later on.
Yeah, the defense right now for Broncos is allowing 13.8 points per game. They're third in the NFL in scoring, and so that's going to be the big challenge, right? So absolutely, they are a formidable defensive team, and we'll see what they do.
They win ugly. You know what I'm saying? They try to get the game ugly, keep it low scoring. They know they don't have a high power offense. It's kind of been like what they've been like for the last few years, even with Russell Wilson. So I'm not expecting anything more. It's a division game. Probably going to be a low scoring game unless we can come out and just jump on their neck and stay there.
Can we continue the Bo Nix turnover train, right? Take advantage of the fact that he's a rookie, trick him, take the ball away, do that sort of stuff. That'll help, offset the fact that their defense is so good, get some shorter fields, and that sort of stuff. It's a week where the injury bug got to us a little bit, but I think some of them are going to be happy accidents. Let's put it that way. No Zamir White this week. Right? He's out, and I think having the room to breathe through that is going to be something that's good for the offense. So more Madison. All right.
Yeah.
And then
I kind of anticipated
my
that.
Favorite linebacker, Mr. Luke Masterson will not be playing this week.
That's all right. We got another white boy behind him.
Don't Don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Eichenberg.
No, you remember what I said, though? I mean, we know how to pick them. We just don't need to put two of them in there, a linebacker at the same time. But
the tape on Masterson in the last 2 weeks is so atrocious. It's like he forgot how to play football. Like false steps, constant. Like every play starts with him just standing there for 2.5 seconds or so. And then he'll decide to take a couple steps in the wrong direction before he then tries to go pursue the play. And then there were plays he actually knocked our players out of the play instead of tackling somebody. Like he blocked Merrick for them. So yeah, let's just see what that looks like without that. So to the chat. So yeah, so we got that going on. I'm trying to think about the rest of the injury report. It's basically the same players. Mayer still out for personal reasons, so we won't see him. There's a chance Divine Diablo plays, which would be a big lift based on what we were getting out of that position from Masterson the last 2 weeks, and then what we probably get from Diablo if he's relatively healthy. I mean, that's really the main stuff I wanted to kind of just go over. Minshew does really well against the Broncos. And he's actually, thrown for almost 900 yards so far in the season and a 70% completion rate. But that's a huge matchup versus the Broncos secondary, which have kind of excelled. They're third in the NFL in passing yards allowed. So he's going to have to find a way to break through. Obviously, we don't have Davante Adams. So let's talk about that, guys. Davante Adams has requested a trade, and my sources heard it from the horse's mouth. So this did happen. He does want to be traded. And it's a timeline thing for him. He, I think, is aware that Father Time is never lost, and he wants to get himself in a position where he can do something this year or next year. And he also has 2 years left on his contract, meaning it's time to get that bad boy extended. It's a question of, can he win a Super Bowl here this year? Probably not.
No.
Is he going to sign a big long-term lucrative extension here right now? I'm not sure that makes sense for us in the position we're in, right?
No.
I think the issue here was trading for him without a plan, without any real kind of idea of what we're going to do with him besides he's going to play the car. And then now I think we're kind of making a mature decision if we go ahead and move forward on this. That's my opinion. I think that we should load up on the highest picks we can get for it, and that we should be concentrating on trying to use those picks to move up in the draft. And if there's the bright, shiny, quarterback of the future that we can grab and have him sit behind Minshew, who I think is a good person to sit behind, we would have a succession plan of quarterback for the first time in our history or whatever, basically. And I think that's the way that we're going to be able to win moving forward. So that's my piece. What say you, quarterback, Mr. Quarterback?
Well, I mean, Davante is like Davante, so we I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about all the little things that I saw early in the year that were kind of like alarming to me, like the interception and stuff. So I thought, like, is DA sabotaging the team or sabotaging the situation? And when they started talking business decisions, then I was like, that usually means somebody quit on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that had looked like. But I wasn't sure. But now we're starting to see that DA just it's like diva-like, but at the same time he kind of earned this in the league. But it's typical for a wide receiver. So I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know. We don't owe him nothing. I mean, we don't owe him. He don't owe us nothing because we kind of got him in here under false pretenses. So let's just make sure we get some value for him, so that way we don't end up empty-handed, because it should really be no bad blood after this breakup happened, because a lot of people seen it on the wall. Some people recently started seeing it on the wall. Yourself, you saw it before the season started. I saw it before the season started. I mean, like, it didn't take no Negro Dominus to come up with that. So.
Yeah. For real. What you think?
It is what it is. I just wish him the best. I kind of want him to go play with DC though.
Yeah, see, he put that on as a possibility on his list. I don't know how the Saints make that work under their cap situation, and I think he knows that, especially with the stuff that came out from Chris Sims. Did you guys hear that? Chris Sims had the story that DA was complicit in cars benching. So. They asked him, and he was with that.
I don't know how I would feel about that if I was DC.
Yeah, DC. Yeah.
I mean, because it goes back to the whole sabotage thing. Like, if things are going bad, then you can be disgruntled, and then you kind of get your way. Like, so if he says go ahead and bench Derek Carr, but then again, I didn't see how he said it, so I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to determine, but I was shocked by that. But I mean, I'm learning new things about DA every day, really. So
yeah, I mean, I think it was just kind of like not really talked about that he had a diva attitude or anything like that. People just now like the dam broke, and everybody's like, well, actually, I have a story or two. So yeah, what do you think, birthday boy? Wester, what you got? What you think?
Well, I think the original plan for Adams was that it was for him to pair up with Carr when he first came here, but then we all know how that and he did the quarterback sit. It was just trash, and can't blame Adams for poor quarterback play that we had with him here. And I kind of seen it coming, but I didn't see it coming this early. And I thought that he would actually stick it out longer. But I think maybe it was Antonio Pierce liking the tweet that really opened the door for him to where he just said, all right, now is my time to where I could just come out and just say, I am not happy here. Thank you, Pierce, for not. Oh, no, sorry. Thank you, Pierce, for liking that tweet. Now I could just come out and say that I'm not happy here. I want to be traded. You just gave me the opportunity to go to where I want to go now. But I didn't think it would happen so fast. But you kind of seen his body language on the sideline. I think that if we would have won that Panthers game, he would have been here, just a little bit longer. But yeah,
he said
it sucks, but no player is bigger than the Raider shield. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Adams, Crosby. I just don't care. And I'm hearing, Ravens, Saints. Some people think the Chiefs, Bills, Saints, right? I want the highest draft capital that we could get. And I agree to what you said, to where I want to get draft capital back. I don't really care for like players unless they're going to be like a really good player in return back. But I want draft capital and draft picks that we could stack. So Tom Telesco could do his job and just build our team for the future. I really want to get a quarterback in the draft coming up. That's what I want to do. I want to stack picks and build for our team's future. And hey, I'm saying happy he's gone. And hey, it is what it is. It's a business.
So, what quarterback though do you see coming out? Like, I mean, let's unpack that because a lot of people, it's weird because we don't know how to pick a quarterback. It's just obvious. Like Derek Carr is the best quarterback that we drafted in hella long, and half the fan base for some reason don't understand his value to the whole franchise as an organization. So, some people will damn near say that wasn't necessarily the best of picks, but aside of him. Like we don't draft quarterbacks. We don't. With that being said, who do you see women draft that we should have a target around?
Okay, so yeah, I have a huge point at this. So I'm gonna say the reason why we are not good at drafting quarterbacks because we're taking shots when the odds are stacked against us, right? If you're not taking the number one quarterback in the draft, it's most likely he will bust. Only the number one quarterback in the draft has higher than 50% hit rate. That's the only time. So you have to go get the best guy in the whole draft, not somebody else, the dude, if you want to have a good chance. And we keep taking guys in the fourth round or just second or third. And luckily, Carr was the best quarterback in that draft, hands down, right? So that's why in his draft, 2014, he came out with Bridgewater and Manziel. Okay.
Really?
And they went ahead of him. Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, because I know we got a steal that second day. Oh, I knew we were going to get a steal.
Bro, I was through the moon. I was telling my dad about this guy from Fresno State. He's like, they're underestimating him because they don't like his brother.
Right. So anyway, that was the best. Exactly. That was probably the best draft quarterback that we drafted in hella long, like for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I think that we need to go ahead and go, do it all the way, half pregnant, right? Like we got to go get the guy, right?
So what's the name?
And I think it might be Drew Aller this year. Drew Aller might be our Jaden Daniels this season. Penn State's quarterback, extremely physically gifted. He looks awesome playing against Big Ten, so it's not like it's fool's gold. So I'm looking at him. I haven't had a chance to scout everybody, but he looks nice right now, right? And then you still have Shedeur Sanders. You still have what's the kid from Georgia? Carson Beck, right?
Yeah.
Good. So I think those three. Cameron Ward.
Yeah. So there's Ward. There's Sanders, Beck, and then there's that one kid from I think it's from Alabama, Milrow.
Mel. I know you. Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. He was in the title game last year running around.
He's nice, man. He's nice. Yeah. It just sucks, like that Arch Manning wasn't coming out of the draft because he would be the guy, because
no, he's the dude.
But
Jalen Milrow.
Yeah, he's really, really nice.
Yeah. And then like Arch is only playing because the starting quarterback over there broke his hand. Pretty sure that's what happened. Quinn Ewers or whatever.
Yeah.
People were waiting on him for a few years. He was playing well and he broke his hand.
He was in early Heisman conversation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, every year they say, that next year's quarterback class is shitty, and then it's not because quarterbacks exist, and sometimes they take a minute, right? To like, get it all figured out. So, no one was talking about Jaden Daniels. No one was talking about Drew Aller, but he was potentially a player that turned into something. So, I think trying to do something like that, get one of those guys.
Yeah. So we got to end up in the top 6, 7, top 6 or 7 or 8 to get a good quarterback, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get years where you have 2 of them, but only one of them is ready immediately or something like that. That kind of thing, right? Like we have the Stroud Richardson thing, like Richardson, if he can stay healthy, right? Those are the 2 quarterbacks I like in that draft. And there we go, right? So we just have to be able to try to, figure out how to get into that spot. A lot of times, man, if you just like do it early enough, right, you can get up there pretty quick. Because people aren't necessarily concentrating on it right now, right? So yeah, I mean, if we can spin this DA thing into actually getting, a quarterback. We've only drafted a quarterback in the first round as an organization 3 times, guys. 3 times.
Yeah.
In our whole history. If you only take 3 shots, you probably not gonna have very many points. You know what I'm saying? Like, every shot you don't take, you automatically miss, right? So we've been missing every year. Which is why you saw a little bit of like, oh my God, we didn't get a quarterback last, when we were at the draft. You know what I mean? I love Brock Bowers, but Brock Bowers cannot solve this quarterback problem, right, by himself. You have to get the guy. And then it makes everything easier, man. It means that, if you really have a top 5 guy, right, you don't necessarily have to have everything perfect, right, to be able to win, right? And that's what the difference is between top 5 guys and Carr. Top 5 guys, Minshew, Cousins. These guys are really, really good, but you better have the whole rest of the team like right, because if not, there's no way. Right. But you got Tom Brady over here with like, receivers playing cornerback and like a bunch of like 7 wide receivers, and he's going to the Super Bowl. Right. So there's a difference. There's levels to this, right? Okay, so I think collectively, it doesn't feel like Raider Nation has too much emotions about the Davante Adams thing. Or is that just me? Because it seems like everybody's just kind of like, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if that's what we're going to do.
Well, it didn't help that the Raiders looked just fine without him.
Well, I think it's because...
I mean, that could have been fool's gold. But I mean, like, we still seen it. Because what happens is, to me, in my estimation, my guesstimation, is now Gardner don't have to prioritize Davante in every route. Like, he could really just be a facilitator, and then it kind of makes it like they can't key in on one person, because then if you key in on somebody, then we need to hit the matchup. You know what I'm saying? At that point. So as long as we can keep doing it like that, we cool. Because if we had DA, teams like, all right, we'll bracket DA, and then we don't really have to have a bunch in a box because they're not running. So, it kind of like hurts us a little bit. But now with DA out, you don't know which receiver we're going to throw it to for real. And you don't know what kind of running game we have because we barely know. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a gift and a curse at the same time,
Yeah, I mean, unlike when I was like charting those games with you, all 22 and stuff like that, looking at the stuff, to me it seemed like the biggest issue from watching tape for Minshew was him getting stopped in his progression anytime that he saw Davante Adams anything close to open or just one-on-one, anything like that. And I was like, okay, he really wants to throw it to him, but like this is a little much. Now you start to be like, okay, if he's diva in it, then like, okay, the Minshew was like, I got to get this over here so we can keep the team together, or is he start complaining, that sort of stuff. You don't want to have that kind of pressure on your quarterback, but it's something that they have to manage because, like I said, every receiver is open on every play. And then it also makes the right? It definitely makes the kind of the performance against San Diego, how we came out, even against Carolina, like why people were kind of the way they were. I mean, you got a team leader, important player who's not fully in, right? And that drama, I think, took away from the kind of energy that we were counting on from this team. You know what I mean? And so hopefully we can kind of turn a page on that, right? And not have to like wallow in this kind of negativity and stuff. I think that I have to give AP more credit, right, than I was giving him, because if you have this, right, happening and none of us knew, right, that's kind of on that whole, like, you know, how was Antonio Brown over there in Pittsburgh and nobody knew nothing, right? Because the coach was doing that, right? So props to AP on that, for real. And hopefully we can just, you know, he can get it back to the energy that like it was. So that's what I think.
You know, one thing I noticed about DA, this is just random, that I don't even think he had back-to-back 100-yard games with us.
Man,
and if he have, it was only like once.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was looking at the comments saying that it's been a cluster ever since he got here. I don't know if they talking about DA or not, but I was just thinking, like, we the only thing we really missing is that presence. But the presence ain't really there if you out there. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you feel like a drop, sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes you're gonna run the right route,
like,
mounds don't. Yeah. You know, the thing that got me kind of interested is I remember, you know, when him and Renfro ran into each other. He didn't like come out and be like, "Oh, that was me," but it was him, right? And then, you know, week one, you know, Minshew tries to throw a screen pass to nobody, right? And that was on DA, but he didn't put his hand over like that was me. So I'm like,
right?
That's you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? He let him eat that.
Yeah.
You could have just said it was a miscommunication. Then you could have just put it on both of them, neither. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have Minshew looking like first week out there, like, what the hell is he doing? Like, it shouldn't have had to take Maxx Crosby in week 3 or week 2 or whatever it was to let him know already. Like, I mean, granted, it was a great thing to do. I'm just saying, like, dang, like, already.
Yeah, man. So that was
a
signal to me, like something's different, like, or, you know, why didn't he like take that responsibility or whatever? I don't know. And this crazy thing is that this is his offense, man. Like, Getsy comes from Green Bay. You know, it shouldn't be that he's behind or having trouble picking something up or forgetting stuff. So kind of weird. It is what it is. I just hope, like you said, we get the right compensation for him, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think like as of right now, we have teams like right now. Tom has teams that are fighting to have the services of Davante Adams right now, and I think that they are trying to outbid each other right now. And I think Adams is gone within the next 2 weeks, with like for sure, possibly within the next week and a half tops. You know, so I think he's gone, and I just don't like how we came out and said that we're seeking a second round pick. Like whoever in our front office said we're seeking a second round pick, we should have kept that in house. And we don't want to put our cards out like that. Like if that was me, like I'm asking for the highest offer first, and I'm saying I'm starting at first round picks all day. It's not likely, but that's something that I would like to, you know, ask for first. And yeah, so that's just something that I would have done.
There's a
if that was
strategy
me.
to that. I think there might be a strategy to that because like you have like a loss leader, like if you're doing sales, or let's say you're trying to sell your house, right? You know, you put the initial asking price like a little bit lower. What happens is you get more bidders, right? And then once the bidders are there, they bid it up anyway, right? So you let them, bid against themselves, and then you end up with a first. If you ask for a first, then nobody shows up to the party, right? Because they don't want to pay that, and it's only one team. They're like, well, we get you that third. See, so like, I think it may work out for us in that way. You know what I mean? If we
but so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here on that. So, but I get your point on that part there. So we could also just not said like
anything?
Not announce that we're asking for a second round pick, but also could have just lied to whatever GM we're talking to, be like, well, so and so is offering a second round pick, or something, and that could have just drove up the asking price, right?
Yeah, you can do that, but you'll probably never get a good trade again because that's going to get around.
Not only that, it's not like our head office is that savvy. Like our head office ain't that savvy, like to act like that.
One?
Because the thing about it is people don't believe it, And so, because I'm thinking, like, why would I understand saying like give us a second for the simple fact that everybody in the league knows that Davante at his age doesn't render a first round draft pick. So it's like almost saying we want a first round pick, not a first round pick, but this is our best pick that we know we should be able to get, and we're not going to bend on that. Now, I do agree with you. Like, why did you even have to say it? Like, almost what's understood don't need to be explained. Like, why did you have to say it and keep people in the dark? And then that way you could kind of negotiate a little bit better. But I don't think our front office is just not too savvy with that. I mean, we could have the personnel, but I just think Mark Davis his poker face is terrible. I hope he played the slots while he in Vegas.
Mark ain't in it. That's what we got the GM for. Mark ain't even there.
Well, he's not in it, but eventually they got to go to him and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And if he like, man, I don't know, and then we all high on it, then it's going to be a little friction. And then, I'm not saying he has the final say, so I'm just saying that, like, it's just like that one drop of mud in that clean glass of water. It's still drinkable, but...
Oh, man. No, I think my understanding is that Mark hires the football people to do football stuff and tries to not do the getting into much involved into that stuff.
Oh, he's too busy at the Aces games.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying.
I understand. So, hopefully that's how it continues or whatever. I think if it's like a huge thing, right, then that's something he'll have to say. He'll have his 2 cents in, but typically, it's not something too important. It's that he's going to put himself over to football people. So we'll see. I think he just get what we can, right? He'd probably be like, no, I'm not taking a fourth, right? Or something like that. So
hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Heck no. No.
Good point. Arizona says eBay. What's going on, my boy A-Train in the house? Well, A-Train. But good point by Airsoft. He says eBay bids start at $1. You know what I'm saying? So they do, And then next thing you know, you're paying $600 for some
Adams ain't no
fitted sheets or something. I don't know.
Adams ain't no $1 eBay bid though.
He got that minimum buy, huh? You said market trading for a wig. See, you foul, Airsoft. That's foul.
Hey.
That's foul.
Hey.
He said no less than a fourth. Bro, if they took a third, I would be on this talking about a criminal.
I'll be pissed.
Hell no.
Heck no.
No less than a second and something.
Yeah, I need a second. Yeah, for real. I need like a second, a fourth, and a player.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You're trying to get out that first, then you're going to have to give me a second, just a mid-round pick and something conditional, like, you know what I'm saying, or a player. Because nope. I already know.
Or GH is going to be sitting over there looking stupid.
Looking dusty.
He can figure it out. He can get mad and decide to start playing because he would be. Matter of fact, they should do him like Derek Carr since he felt like that was the appropriate thing to do. Do him the same way. Don't we pay you? Just get out the office.
Yep.
Get out the building. Out of sight, out of mind.
Turn around and spit for the goose and the gander. You over here on the side.
Right.
Well, A-Train says, what do you think if you get a third of Malik Willis? If you guys got a chance to Malik Willis play?
I'm convinced a lot of these.
I don't want no Malik Willis, man.
No, go to Matt and be like, let's see if this works.
No, I'd rather have some Hendon Hookers.
Malik is balling. Hendon Hooker, huh?
Hendon Hookers.
Those players we all.
I want
only one hooker in it.
Abundance of Hendon Hookers.
Oh boy!
There's only one hooker.
You know, he started his birthday train all early, boy. Airsoft said, "Make him sit and then play on special team."
Oh hell!
Come on, bro. Y'all doing worse than Marcus, bro. Hey. But yeah, if it was Al, he'll sit for 2 years and then sign with the Chiefs.
Right, then he'll sign with the Chiefs, right?
Because he'd be mad as hell.
Oh man,
you know he loves Hendon Hookers that you were talking about.
See, that's
what he's talking
about. That's the one thing that I just do with Al Davis. He would ship you to the first team, and you would be gone within the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if Maxx Crosby would have made it through. He made it through with Mark Davis, but with that whole like,
oh no,
it better be AP or I'm out. I would have been like, oh, for real?
So I don't even know if that's true. Is that true?
He did say that. Yeah,
he did say that.
Yes, he said it on live TV. I watched it come out of his mouth.
See, man, this is the whole thing about. See, now you got me thinking about what you was telling me yesterday. You know what I'm saying about the Raiders, right? You know what I'm saying, like why they always in the fold. So my thing is this: if Maxx Crosby really said that, I mean, well, you said he said it.
Mm-hmm.
Like so this is my thing with the Raiders. Like we put the fun in dysfunctional. Like, okay, I get that you want to sit there and put a little. The player shouldn't be able to put that much pressure on the coach. Like to me, like I get you got an opinion and all that, but you got to understand there's nobody bigger than the shield, like y'all say. Not even you, Max. So I would have sat your ass too. You know what I'm saying? You got a high ankle sprain. I'm sure you'll be out there, but the motor ain't gonna be the same. You'll be on 87 octane instead of 91. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit you too. I'll make a business decision on you too. I mean, because really at the end of the day, what I'm seeing from AP, which I actually like, is he's gonna either float with his boat or he's gonna sink with it. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, I was surprised when last offseason when Max we were taking our time trying to decide who the head coach is going to be and interviewing other people. And he's like, no, it just needs to be AP or it ain't right. You know what I mean? And he was like, if it's not AP, then I have to think about long-term being a Raider. So he talked about how Mark pulled him in and they had a conversation about that. And Mark,
I would have shipped
that will never happen
out,
again. So I would have definitely shipped him out. I think that having some patience might be the smart thing to do when you're talking about an absolutely generational player. But yeah.
So I feel about Maxx Crosby having a podcast during the
Oh, lost for a second.
How do
I think you said you're not.
Sorry. Okay. So,
a little technical
how do you feel about Maxx Crosby having a podcast during the regular season?
Yeah, I didn't realize that he would still be doing the podcast during the regular season. I thought that it would cut off, like mostly that's what you see. I don't think it's affected his play. I think he stayed out of controversy so far, but I don't think that's the greatest idea.
So. Is his episodes current? Because I know I just saw him do like a couple of interviews that he obviously did during training camp. So they could have the content already. Like he might be ahead like a month or 3 weeks or somewhat. I haven't watched it recently to see if they're talking about currently what's going on right now. But now if they're talking about what's going on right now, then I don't see the podcasting as an issue. It's how you present yourself on said podcast. For example, I'll say like Draymond Green. Everybody was like, Draymond Green should be the last person to have a podcast during the season. And he matriculated that fairly well. Even incorporating the what's going on right now, because people kind of like that element. They like to hear the insider stuff, which is cool, but you can't just go out there and just say what you want and then don't think there's going to be a repercussion to it. You know what I'm saying? Or a backlash or some kind of ripple effect. So you got to be aware of it.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a thing.
So, my internet here is behind or not, or I'm going to just say, so if his podcasts are pre-taped, then yes, that is cool. But if he's doing it like week by week, then I honestly don't agree to. And I know that there's actually agree to what I'm saying, and that's what makes me different from a lot of the other Raider content creators.
Somebody speak tequila.
Definite technical difficulties with the internet stream here, but I think the point is pretty clear, right? Like if he's having to do this, constantly, then it's a huge distraction. But I think, like Black was saying, it's possible the stuff was recorded beforehand. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because Max seems to be on that, right? Like I don't think he would want to take away from his ability to do his normal thing. So here you go.
If he's doing it by a week, but if it's pre-taped, yeah, it's cool. That's fine. But So I feel like he should be more focused on the team, and I feel like if he is or like a diva, and and I know that's not the popular thing that the Raider fans, and that's something that they don't want to hear, but I'm gonna say what's on my mind.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, we don't know that for sure. You're right? Like he did do the whole do this or trade me kind of stuff, and then he got a podcast, so we got to keep an eye on that. But I think Max is kind of built different. Maybe that's just because he's my favorite Raider right now. So, all right. So then, what A-Train says, we're not going to be low enough in the draft to get a quality quarterback. We best trade for one while we have the chance.
Okay, who?
Like
people
who?
say
Yeah.
that, my question is always
like who are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
And
my
then,
question is always who when you say that.
Like
yeah. And then why can't we? Like how low do you have to be? Because this is the thing, right?
The Andy Dalton is already out. It's already been exposed for the year. The one player that at quarterback that always come back or you didn't see coming, Andy Dalton is that guy this year. So we missed on that. Like, I don't know who else we could get. Like,
yeah, there's not really. They don't just have quarterbacks that are good available.
Yeah, they aren't just hanging off of trees or just you can't just grab them. They aren't just you can't just you can't.
And that's why I think
like who else is out there besides like Tannehill? Like there's not. Can't really go out there and get one.
Right, but a second rounder with a first round swap that can move us up in the draft from middle of the pack to top 10 or top 8.
Absolutely,
exactly. And if you really want to go for it, you know what I'm saying, throw in a conditional first even next year to get all the way to like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
right? And get the dude right and just be done with it. But like I just don't see the guys are out there. Airsoft say Kaepernick's still out there.
Man, I would. Hey, you know what?
Another person say Kaepernick. Airsoft dude, come on, bro. Come on.
First of all, Kaepernick couldn't even read defense 6 years ago. So I know he damn near ain't gonna read nothing.
What's going on here?
Yeah, we gotta stack the picks and go package and move up. That's right. A-Train, something about Malik or Hooker. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go.
I like Hooker too, man. Trust me, I love hookers. I love Hooker, but he ain't going nowhere, and I don't see us trading for him. I just don't see it happening.
He like 35 already, right?
But my boy, I remember before. Did he get drafted last year or something like that?
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago. So my boy was like, I really see Hooker going to the Raiders. I was like, first of all, you can't have a player named Hooker playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. Like it just can't. You know what I'm saying?
No, like hell no.
But then as time goes on, I keep seeing his name come up. So doing what the Raiders do, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in a uniform.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I feel like if he was really, really good, we would know that now.
Yeah.
And we don't.
It'd be a great selling jersey, though. It'd be a great selling jersey.
Oh,
you get a lot of jerseys.
Oh boy, yeah, especially if you get like the number 9 or 6. So, so let's see. Y'all think we're picking 20 below 20?
Well, Stoner fits though. Stoner.
What do you think?
Speaking of Stoner, lucky I respect the show.
What is A-Train?
Like Stoner fits.
Stoner, yeah. That's not too much. But when we go Hooker in Vegas, like you starting to alienate a demo. They trying to bring a certain demo.
Hand in hand, man. Hooker in Vegas is like peas and carrots, man.
That's why we couldn't even have Jimmy G out there, man. Jimmy G was already too much.
Man,
you can't have porn stash in Vegas, bro.
Porn star.
Porn star. Yeah. A-Train says, guess y'all think we're picking below 20. Do you like what? Yeah, no? Like, yes. I don't think we want the 20th pick because that's the team that like won a playoff game or something, right? It's like that's probably not where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if people overperform, but like DA is out, Maxx is not fully healthy.
Adam's just gone.
Year that we thought we were going to start.
We can't run the ball yet, we got a bunch of drama with Pierce right now. What is Gardner going to do going forward? We got a lot of question marks right now. I love our team, but you got to be down to earth and not biased, and I want to be optimistic just like the rest of the Raider Nation, but you got to be real too. You know what I mean? And right now, I'm even right now. I'm like an even line right now, and we just got to take it one game at a time. One game at a time.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about being in the 20s and we're talking about like basically a 500 team, which is kind of where I think we might end up based on things being different than I thought at the beginning of the season. We don't have DA all year. We don't, have a fully healthy Maxx Crosby. Epps is out for the season. You know what I mean? These things matter. The O-line struggled at first. So, and if they continue to struggle, that's going to be an issue, right? But, they look better in the last game. So let's
so you, Raider D, and I, we made our season win-loss predictions at the beginning of the year. That was based on the team roster that we had, not knowing what was going to happen going into the year. But now, what happened under the circumstances, with like Adams and just all this stuff that's happening, it's things change, you know what I mean? And it completely changes outlook on my predictions on the win losses going forward. And and I'm just being completely honest. And when I say something where I feel confident, and when I say where I feel I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'm definitely gonna own up and say that I'm wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't kind of expect, I guess, the level of injury to the most key players, right? Like DA's not really injured, but for all intents and purposes, right? And then Maxx Crosby, being injured. And then, luckily we have depth at safety, right, to step in for Epps, because that boy's out there balling. Palomau is looking great at the position, probably better than we've seen guys play for a while at safety in that game. So if we can get more consistency and less, mistakes because it's the first time getting out there, then it's not going to be too bad. Diablo really hurt, being hurt. I think like that may be the most impactful injury of the season, which is not something that we would have expected. But man, there is nothing behind that guy right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we looked good last week.
But you know what's funny though? No, actually, I'm gonna take that back because Bernie actually looked good behind him. He needs more run.
I didn't miss Diablo last week, but the week before that for sure. But Palomalu was out there playing like his cousin or whoever's uncle or whatever, hair on fire. Like that boy was out there going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we need to see, and that's kind of contagious too, because what that does is put a player like Jack Jones back in his place. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad Jack Jones has enough gumption or whatever to see the writing on the wall. And I think that has to do with AP, because AP really ain't playing. I'm trying to gauge AP because he sound one way, then he come off another way. And like I said, he like to go up and down, but I think people really know that he ain't to be played with at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see Palomalo out there playing his ass off and just inspiring other players, because Diablo comes back. We need Diablo to up his game at this point, because we got players that don't get the playing time that he used to get. Now they're stepping up and they're showing out. Now he got to raise his game as well.
Yeah. And as far as AP, I wanted to touch on what you said earlier before, Black, when you talked about how he's a rookie coach, right? So we got to have certain like patience with him, and like it's almost like the team needs to kind of get his back too, right? Like if you got a rookie quarterback, right? But it's going to be good one day, and he should be starting. then the team kind of like, helps out, right? We're going to put us a better down and distance. We're going to block a little bit harder on run games. We're going to not turn the ball over, you know what I'm saying, not fumble it, and not put him in bad positions, things like that, so that he can have that confidence and grow a little bit, because once he hit a certain level of just experience, then he can be able to carry us. You see what I'm saying? I think there's some of that to what's going on with AP. He still needs to learn how to manage some of the time management stuff, and then who to listen to, who not to. Should we hit this week? Blah blah blah. But like overall, when you're talking about you add in this factor with DA, like it's pretty admirable what he's been able to do as far as keeping the team together and making the right decisions as far as moving us forward. Now, I think you got to be quicker with the trigger on replacing players, right? If they're not performing, so we'll see.
Yeah. So since we're on the whole AAP thing here, the things that I don't, and I'll be honest, the things about and Antonio Pierce, I just don't like how he goes on social media, and he puts his voice out there, and he puts the team out there. He needs to get off social media and Instagram and all that. You don't see other coaches doing that. And let's talk about the other like rookie NFL coaches right now, like and Antonio Pierce. Like, for example, Gerard Mayo, Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a bit more confidence when they're under duress. And when Antonio Pierce, when he loses, it's kind of like he shows it too much. And then when he wins, he kind of like, hey, all right, team, let's have a cigar, and all that. It's cool, to like, you want to get your team fired up and hyped. And I touched on this last week too, but let's save the cigars for when you actually win a playoff game and when the games, count. And let's not try to be too emotional when you lose, and keep your team business in house and don't post it on the internet. Get off of the internet.
That part.
You're a grown man. Speak to your team inside of the building, and try to hold yourself more accountable and be on a higher tier, because you're the head coach and you're supposed to lead by example. So that's all I'm trying to say by that.
Yeah, I agree totally with you. You can't be cigars this week and business decision the next week. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I also get being a little bit loose because you were probably more like a player coach because you were a player. So I kind of get that, right? But a lot of that needs to be in-house. Y'all can smoke cigars, but you don't want to be in all the interviews and y'all acting like y'all just that guy already. And then next week you're looking all worried. And then players get to acting funny. And then you want to go up there and be like, I'm not going to hold my tongue. O-line, you play like shit. Start throwing people under the bus and shit. I mean, stuff. And you don't throw yourself under the bus. You know what I'm saying? You can say, we responsible for getting these guys ready. No, I want you to be like, yeah, I'm tripping on them fourth downs. No, what you do is you double down on your decisions. So I totally agree with you. Like I said from the beginning, before even game one, when I saw it in the preseason, the team goes and comes as his emotion comes and goes. I like a man with passion. I'm a man with passion. I love coaching with passion. I get all that, but you got to put a governor on some of that. Everything ain't for everybody.
That's real. Yeah. Stay off of social media. Learn how to be circumspect with the media. You see Belichick, bro. Like, I'm not saying you got to be that, but bro, like, Just say less. You know what I'm saying? Say less.
Would they say less is best?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to say all that. Like, we all watched it. You know what I mean? You could communicate that way easier. You know what I'm saying? You could communicate that by making changes to the offensive line and letting, people who cover the team talk about that. But, he'll get there. I think he's an emotional dude, right? And so you're going to have to take some of that, the negative with the positive, right? And 100% is like 80% of what you want and 20% of what you don't want, right? With everything, if you're going to get it. So that's the question. Like, is the 20% too much, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to see about Raheem Morris and those other coaches. I think they have a little bit more experience in the fire of making those kind of decisions versus like Pierce being a linebacker coach. You know what I'm saying? Like they might not be so cerebral in that sense. But I'm with you though. Like you got to be better there because although you're a rookie coach, you did coach like half a season last year. Like,
yeah, and it's like I know you got stuff to learn or whatever, but like just be less volatile, man. Like you got to take your time with this kind of stuff. Don't just jump into making decisions about how you're gonna talk after the game. Just after the game, I don't go live. You don't see me on here, right? If you're an emotional coach, just don't say nothing after the game. Wait until Monday. You know what I mean? Just after the game, like, I don't have nothing. I got to look at the tape. Right? Because that's, for me, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, just walk up there. Really tough game. Got to see the film. We're going to get back to work tomorrow. And I'll see y'all later.
That's simple. Like, we ain't trying to make it too hard. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think, just having that kind of veteran presence or whatever. Where's
But he might grow into that though, So.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're hoping, and the team just got to support that, and give him a little bit of time by winning some games and.
Oh my God, we need to bench Minshew. Are you going through the? Are you going through the chat?
I'm trying to catch up. Hold on.
No, okay, because I didn't.
Die Hard says, yeah, no, you can pull stuff up. Yeah, it's cool.
No, I didn't want to get ahead of you because I saw it said, "What do we
do about
Minshew?" And I said, "I think AP needs to bench Minshew." Like, I'm trying to think. What I want to know, what's the thought process behind that? We bench Minshew, right?
Right.
Then we put in AOC. For what reason? It's almost like the trade thing. We're gonna trade Minshew for AOC, but what's the upside that we're getting that we don't have right now?
Yeah, what am I missing about something?
Yeah, what am I missing?
Because he played one drive and almost threw pick twice,
and got sacked on the second play, and it was garbage time. I don't care what nobody say. They're not running the same defense like they did the first.
No, and they're not running as hard. That's the point. They don't play as hard in garbage time. Yeah,
they want you to catch the ball and run up and stop you. They don't want nothing to get behind them. Why do you think everybody dropped back 10 yards?
Exactly.
Yep.
And good point, right? These players knew a long time ago what time DA was on, for real. And I think that had an effect, right? Game 1 and even in the Carolina game, right? And he says his antics will be forgotten if we win. This is true. Raheem Morris doesn't technically count as a rookie head coach. I think we're just talking about young guys, but yeah.
He was right.
What's that?
He's 3 years in. Yeah, he's in his third season. And you can look at D'Amico Ryans in Houston as a young coach that came in.
Exactly.
At the same time as AB. Right? DA wanted out 100 when he told to play in the preseason. Wow. I know that he was not. I think it was the Carolina game. That's my thought process on it.
Same there. Yeah.
That was the game where,
dude, I'm telling you, man, that Panthers game, man.
Yeah. So, kind of is what it is. He said, "Victory tacos. Everybody loves tacos. Smoking's bad for your health." Yeah, I think the players decided.
What is bad for your health? Let's clear
Cigars. Tobacco.
So is my spouse. I don't want to live single forever.
Right? The AP didn't want to put any business out there, and DA spoke about it. Well, did he though? Because who was the first person to like a tweet that was kind of putting business out there?
Yeah, man.
So,
but I agree though. I don't care what. AP can't be doing that.
Yeah,
I don't care if it was
Mm-mm.
appropriate or not. He can't be doing that because, like, it gives a perception that we're starting something. Like he was like, oh, now DA got a reason to go off. No, DA really been going off this whole time. Really, right. I really think it started from last year, no lie. Especially if I'm thinking about he was okay with the car benching. It definitely didn't start this year then. If that's the case, he's been trying to get his exit strategy. He just didn't want to look like the bad guy because I have heard that he's not the most likable person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that to be true. But all I'm saying is it could just been a play from jump. So
yeah, I think he's a cool dude to talk to and that kind of stuff. But then how does everything relate? Yeah, because like, I think he's a perfectionist, bro. You know what I mean? To be real. And so he's wanting everybody else to be on the same kind of page as him all the time.
Yeah, that's fine if he wasn't dropping stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like when you're dropping stuff, you're running the wrong routes and stuff. You gotta cop to that, right? And then people will be like, okay, this is the standard, right? So, Wayne's World is in here. I don't know.
And not to mention, if your quarterback, the leader of the offense, if your wide receiver, the leader of the offense, that's usually not a good thing. That's usually not a good thing. From playing both positions too, and that's not a good thing. It's not.
No, it's not.
To say it.
Yeah, you want your best offensive player to be like a quarterback or a running back,
or a lineman. Shit, I have to even take a lineman.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, left tackle.
But he better be the center though. He got to be the center if it's going to be a lineman.
Left tackle?
Yeah, right. Because you got to have somebody that's emotionally regulated, like, or he just an animal all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So this is my. I don't know what you guys think about it, but my dream scenario is that we figure out that Mumford, because DJ Glaze looks good at right tackle. Mumford's a better player on the left side. I think Mumford at left guard, JPJ at center, and Parham at the other guard with Glaze and Miller is going to end up being our best line one day.
Damn, so James is just going to drop out the lineup?
I think JPJ
is probably our smartest guy on the line.
Listen, JPJ is just, he's that good, bro.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't take his spot, but when you the center and you know how the line calls are and all that, that's an advantage. Yeah. So I think he needs to be on the field somewhere.
He's definitely there, right? But it's entirely possible. JPJ played center his whole college career, right? So he has that in him at Oregon, bro. Oregon.
No, I'm saying that
Andre James 600
off on the line somewhere though because of his cerebral. Is he physically? Is he in that to that point?
No.
Because I haven't watched him.
He's just playing. The first 2 weeks were not pretty. The last 2 weeks he's been playing at like cool level, like a little above average. That's kind of how he usually does. We'll probably go through the whole season and be like, okay, he was a little bit above average at center. But if you want to have like that dominant line, he's always the person you're like, well, we could replace him. You know what I mean? I think last year we looked at it, and then the center market went nuts. Like they were paying guys way too much money, and we were like, no, we'll just take Andre James back for now, right? Because he's above average and cost effective. But like having JPJ and Mumford is better on the left side. He played left tackle and stoned Khalil Mack the whole game last year. He played guard in college. He can play left guard, not a problem. He played guard for us. He played right guard. He's better at left guard. And then Parm is better at right guard, and JPJ's been a center. So just my 2 cents, right? No hate to James. I wanted him to come back. You can go look at my free agency video. I defended him to let people know he's not shit. He's not a bad player, right? He's a good player who knows the whole, like you said, all the line calls, and he's a leader in that way, right? So no shade to James, but I do think that's probably end up being our best line down the road. So put it out there. So let's take a look at this next game. We looked at the Browns. I'm going to go back and look at the Browns game and get y'all's kind of quick thoughts on what you saw there. Any nuggets, anything that you think needs to be carried forward, needs to be worked on, all that good stuff. So let's start with the birthday boy. What did you see in the Browns game? It is your birthday, Wilson, I promise.
So the Browns, they scored 10 unanswered points in the first quarter, and then we finally came through and drove downfield in the second quarter. We capped it off with a Trey Tucker end around, which was beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then we couldn't do anything after that until we got a Carson field goal in the third, which gave us a 3-point lead. Watson, he threw that pick, the third that bounced off of Mark Cooper's hands. Hit it, boom, bounced off, pick.
Cooper got.
And then we did another beautiful end around to DJ Turner.
But why does Gessie keep doing all those stupid reverses, man? He's so dumb with this.
You don't know why, though?
Hey, man. Hey.
No, you gotta get creative in the run game because we don't have one.
That's what we kept saying. Yeah. And then what happens? They scored 2 touchdowns off of it. Now everybody's like, ooh, I love reverse.
But that boils down to when you call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the play, but if you don't call it at the right time, it ain't gonna work right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why so many people is on Gutsy's neck, because I think he coaching fairly decent. Like, I'm like, out of 4 games, I would say that
he's gotten better.
Maybe one of them I'll be like, yeah, but I think he's been doing pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So in the fourth, this is where I think we're going to see a lot more Alexander Madison, because Zeus fumbled in the fourth, and then the Browns scored, and then it was 16-10, right? And then this is where it almost broke my heart here, because Amari Cooper, a former Raider, catches that deep ball, and he runs it in the end zone, right? But then it gets called back. It gets called back on a holding call, right? Which I was just like, dude, thank you, Raider gods. And then
hold on. You know why you felt like that? Because usually we don't get that kind of call on the comeback. Like that. We don't never get that.
It'll be a blatant hold too. They'll be like, "What hold? Touchdown."
Yeah.
That was borderline.
Yeah.
We got it.
So then, you're right. When we saw Amari Cooper just running like that, we was like, it's probably defensive holding, lining up in the neutral zone, all anything. You know what I'm saying? Late hit.
Yes. They were like off. They'll find a way. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So like you said, the Raider guys, they love us on that one. Thank you. The football guys.
Yeah. So in a thrilling finish, man, Watson drives down, right? And he has a chance to beat us. And then the snowman comes through, dude, and gets Watson on the sack, dude, and seals the deal, dude. No, I'm sorry. He breaks up the pass. Sorry. The snowman, dude. breaks it up.
Mm-hmm.
We win the game, and I'm so happy, man, because I knew going into that game would be a lot tougher than what it should be because, like I said last week, whenever the Raiders play, for some reason, quarterbacks who used to be good, they channel their inner powers, and they come back,
Yeah.
and Deshaun Watson was showing kind of like flashes of what he used to be. And be that only like 20% of former top 5 Watson was there. And we came out with that W, and I'm just so happy because we won without no Adams, with no Maxx Crosby, and we got the W, and I'm very, very happy. And yeah, man, it was a great game. Great game.
What say you?
Yeah,
Quarterback
I'm going to
Black.
agree with you. I think we responded very well without our leaders, our 2 leaders. If you guys get a chance, go to the Nothing But Raiders podcast. We was talking about that. That I was saying that Davante Adams is the clear leader on the offense. Crosby clear leader on the defense. And if you don't have both of them, that's a recipe for disaster for us, especially looking at how the defense played the prior week, right? So shout out to the coach.
Yes.
So that was definitely a good thing. That was our second comeback victory with coming back from 10 points or more. So people were saying, me included, that I don't know where it come from behind type team. So we shown a little bit of that. We don't want to find ourselves in that situation all the time like we was doing with Derek Carr, but at least we see that we have the coaching to get it done. We do have the personnel to get it done. So now there's no excuses not to get it done.
Right.
I was holding my breath too at the end of the game. Like you said, the snowman really put us at ease because a lot of times we know when the Raiders get behind, take the lead, they might give up the lead, or it come down to the last drive, last play, anything, something crazy always happens. And like you say, these former quarterbacks that's on their way out, Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, whoever, they had these awesome games that get them 3-4 more years in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Andy Dalton. So at the end of the day, it was good to see the snowman do what he did, stepping in, and then he hit him with the condor to end the game. You feel me? So I really like that. The defense kept the Browns under 100 rushing yards. Running back under 100 rushing yards for the first time this year. That's good. We need to see that because one of the questions that we had was our run stopping because people been running through us like X-Lax. So it was good to see that. And if y'all know what X-Lax is, Google that. I might have. When we needed to put the game away, the offense did not capitalize. We could have put that game away on offense. And we don't want to always lean on the defense for the simple fact that you can put them in that situation. We stand up a couple times, but there's going to be times that they can't hold it. And then we don't want to blame the defense when we could have put it away on offense. Because had we would have scored a touchdown, that would put a lot more pressure on them. And we would have went for 2 and got the 2-point conversion. That really would have put the game out. And so I think we just need to do a little bit better on the play calling at the end of the games because we went 3 and out, gave them the opportunity to come back. So we definitely wanted to eliminate that. Our running back situation, Madison's going to be the guy this week. You don't have to worry about Zeus behind him. I don't think he was going to be really worried about that anyway. I've been seeing it since the beginning of the season that Zeus is not our starter, but people kept telling me that I don't really know what I'm talking about. I might not have, but it's starting to play out. And let's see what Madison does now that he has he has the tater, and see who backs him up and gets some carries as well because we don't know who's been getting off in practice. So That I think overall it was a good win. It showed us a lot about our character. It showed us a lot being 2-2 that we normally don't see the first 4 games of the year, because first 4 games of the year we're trying to figure out why we 1-3. Like usually, you know what I'm saying? So at least we know who we are now. This game right here gonna tell us what street that we're on. You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna keep going up and down the hill all year, or are we gonna really start, you know what I'm saying, trending up? So good win overall.
Shout out to Graphic Raider, who had, I think, a pretty good tweet where he said it's either 2017 or it's 2021. We're gonna find out.
Right.
Good shit.
I like that.
So I remember telling you guys I was looking at some specific players that Antonio Pierce picked up on his own last year in the middle of the season. And those players were Snowden and Ellerson Smith. Antonio Pierce has a real talent for talent evaluation. And he snatches up these guys off other guys' rosters, practice squads, who aren't wanted. Jack Jones was really not wanted also. And then they make plays. So, like, shout out to him. Shout out to Charles Snowden for, playing. Like, he's really gonna have to have some playing time, right? A guy who can rush the passer, he can cover a little bit, and just plays with his hair on fire. Nice to see. Tyree Wilson looked different in that game. He was causing a lot of problems for their line. He didn't get sacks, but I saw this dude overpower a double team and push them backwards, which I don't think I've ever seen a person do. Like, this dude is he's going to continue to get better, but he was making some impressive plays, almost a sack a bunch of times. So he's starting to get close. He had one play where he drove the left tackle right into the quarterback's lap and commits to try to reach around the guy and sack him. He almost did it, that tells you how long his arms are. You don't usually reach around a full-grown left tackle for anything. But he did that. So quarterback then ran and got sacked by somebody else. So, that's how it be sometimes. He'll get his eventually. I was kind of impressed by the themes, like Getsy being able to scheme this offense. You can see him, and you watch the game, he's setting up the defense, setting up the other coordinator, and then that stuff is paying off later in the game. And so we had some of those really good plays at the end there where we were able to execute, and get things going. I feel like the Zeus fumble is the key to why we didn't close that game out. I think that drive was actually productive, and Zeus has to hold on to the football. And it's the second time that he has been in a situation where, he's getting himself going, he's busting some runs, and then he forgets the football, right? Which is not what you want to hear. There's a reason why Tyreek McAllister. Yeah, that's oh my God, where's the ball? I think we saw there's a reason why Tyreek McAllister is a receiver. He's fast, but boy, you can't take hits like that. You cannot take hits like that. He got to protect himself a little bit more on that. So that was a little bit weird, or something that stuck out to me, right? I think just overall impressed with Minshew's poise. I think it's one of those games where statistically it don't look that great, but he's probably statistically his worst game, but it's probably his best game. You know what I mean? As a quarterback, getting us in the right play, as a handling the ball and getting out on screens and reads, and you know what I mean, like avoiding sacks, keeping us in manageable down and distances and things like that caused us to win the game. He played winning football. It didn't look fancy, but like as a coach, I'd be happy as hell, right? Because he did what needed to be done, right? We did not have DA, right? We did not have Mayer. Mayer will be back. That makes a difference. It's a 2 tight end offense we got. But shout out to Hunter Bryant. Like, he balled. The backup tight end. Yeah, Harrison Bryant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like
Right.
That's why you want to have depth like that, because now we like, we're real glad we got Harrison Bryant now, right? Like, he made a couple plays, and he hit some blocks too that were real key, especially after the tight ends missed some blocks last week, I think.
Hey, yeah.
They had a couple plays you're like, you blocked the wrong dude, bro. So, it's good to see. I think the whole Cleveland thing it's hard to judge off them because they're in a tailspin. I think they are looking like the 2017 Raiders situation, right, where they just can't get out their own way. Obviously, they probably had a game won and they got a hold. Amari's tipping balls or quitting on plays, or I don't even know what's doing his Amari. And Deshaun Watson just needs more oil. You know what I mean? He's not looking loose enough. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's why I keep trying to get a massage. He's gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that right there. So let's get to the chat here. See what people have to say. I'm gonna make sure I get my chat. EA is gone. He's the only one who wanted AOC playing. Interesting take. Interesting take. I'm not gonna say you're wrong there.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that. Right. If you're talking about Carolina, they also rush blitz Aiden with starters such as Shaq Thompson. Yeah, they did blitz sometimes. That happens.
Yeah, they blitzed a couple of times, but come on, like 85% of those plays, they drop back in the coverage though. Like
they trying to act like this was like the prime time football. It was not. It was still out of reach football. Raider Ryan, the captain of the fan club over here, hardest working fan in Raider sports.
I love it.
Right?
Great dude.
Look at him telling everybody to hit the like button.
Yeah, let's get that like button.
Be like Raider Ryan, okay? Be like him. Let's talk about it. Die Hard says, an arm unlike Minshew, that was like 3 plays. Okay, Minshew's a more accurate deep ball thrower. His average depth of target is higher. When Aiden started his 10 games, he was 31st in the whole NFL in average depth of target. I don't know why people keep saying he pushes the ball down the field. He does not push the ball down the field. He makes plays down the field sometimes, so he can throw. But he is not a person who's like. I watched him in practice too, twice, in person. It was check down. Like he can't hold the ball or avoid rush long enough to make other plays. It's check down Charlie stuff, right? With this line. Now you get a line that can block like they did for Brady. Maybe it'd be different, but we don't have that. Let's see. We got another one. He says Glusco wanted to trade DA when he first came here, but had to wait because he didn't want a backlash from the fan base just to come and trade Adams from get-go. Maybe not.
Interesting.
Yeah. He said Butterfingers from Amari, too much popcorn. Interesting. What's up to my boy with the super chat coming through? Yeah, respect fam. We get 9 to 10 wins. Okay. Raiders.
I was about to say, let's get a Raiders for that.
For sure. Good looking.
Committing to excellence with the super chat, man. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you to the fan base for getting me to the point where I could take super chats and monetization.
You feel me?
Yeah, thank you. It's like, wow. Like for real. Y'all come through, and that's awesome. See, Weather Twine said DA wanted out with Carr, but waited to see if we were going to get the top quarterback in the draft. I think you're correct too. I think if we
for sure.
got Stroud like our GM wanted, it would be a whole different game. But this is why I must fight Joshy boy on site. There's just so many different offenses. I got nothing to say, bro. I'm not gonna talk.
I was about to say, don't even say nothing.
No, I'm just take off. You getting snubbed.
And then possibly he could have like chilled and waited until maybe hoping we could have perhaps traded up for Jaden Daniels or could have got Penix, but we all know how that panned out, and we landed with Garner, and it's unfortunate what happened, and sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, you know?
Now we know why Atlanta needed to go ahead and take Penix to force her hand on DA. That's my theory. Okay. All right. So it says we have 2 young players that can play center, JPJ or Parham, if we move on from Andre James. Parham is not a center. I know that we tried to work him at center a little bit for versatility. He did not play center in college. He's not a center. So, he would have to be learning it, much like, James had to learn it. JPJ is a center, so I think there's a difference there. But I agree with the overall premise, though, right? Like, so James is a tackle guard, UCLA, and Colt Miller. Yeah, they made him to center. Yeah, Parham. What's he got to say about Parham?
Yeah, Colton Miller needs to step up, though.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what's up? Happy birthday to Raider Ryan. It was your birthday yesterday. What's up?
Yeah.
Raider Ryan. Happy belated birthday, bro.
How old are you? Put that in the chat. I think Raider Ryan's probably like 25, 26, something like that, right? Right? Let us know. And we got it says Minshew still was not good. He had 130 yards. Yep. No, he didn't have a lot of yards. The Browns have they were the number 1 defense last year, and that's the same team.
I understand. So I just don't understand why people are still having so much hate towards Gardner, and I understand we are all entitled to our opinion, right? And I get it, and I'm not trying to, bash you, diehard Raider, but
no.
If that was AOC, he can't move in the pocket, and he would have gotten sacked. He has more mobility in the pocket. AOC could definitely throw the ball further and more accurate and more precision on his passing, but for us right now at this time, like right now, this current time, we got to go with Gardner. And trust me, I'm a big AOC fan too, but just for the team right now, Gardner is that guy.
Yeah, AOC still needs to get some work done. You got to remember, like, he only had 10 games, right? He hasn't even had a full season. And he still needs to work on his accuracy when he's on the move. When he's rolling or scrambling. He'll uncork some really.
I definitely don't think that Gardner is holding the team back. So I definitely agree to your statement there.
Yeah. I just think he needs more time. I think, like, if we just let him be a young player and learn, that's okay. But if we try to put him in here now and he doesn't succeed, like, that will be the end of his ability to be a starter for our team and probably any other team, right? Because other GMs don't even like him, right? So if you believe in AOC, let him learn, right? Let him learn, let him get better. Dude, he had a play in the preseason. He was rolling to his right, and Trey Tucker was wide open. He threw the ball 10 yards short. So he got to work on that. That's not an acceptable thing, right? In a vacuum, right, he is more accurate. In a vacuum, his strong arm matters. But then we don't play in a vacuum. We play in the league with 300-pound linemen chasing you. And Minshew seems to be the guy who's more accurate because he has a higher completion percentage. His depth of target is deeper. He gets the ball out faster, and he's more accurate on deep balls and completes more of them. So, like, I don't know if there's much to argue with there as far as what people are saying. But I get it. LC's taller. He looks the part, right? He has more upside.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of thing. Like, if he can play. Well, as far as being a guy who's, the traditional,
traditional
stronger
pocket quarterback.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's like that works on 7-on-7. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on now. Let's just keep it really, really funky here. Like, AOC is nothing different than Stidham. Like, AOC is not gonna go to he's not gonna be a Pro Bowl quarterback. I don't care what the situation is. Minshew has at least done that. Like, you can't tell me that AOC has a better command of the NFL game than Minshew. He just don't. It's not. I wouldn't even try to put them on the same level because they're not. But so what happening is people are comparing them, and then I'm like, okay, if we put AOC in, and then what comes into fruition, what we think was going to happen based on what we've seen, is if they keep sacking them, they're going to blame the O-line. They're not going to say it's him. And then you end up putting Minshew back in. Now you got this quarterback controversy that you could have avoided. Like,
yeah, you got no quarterbacks now.
I don't dislike AOC, but I hate that I have to defend him the way I do, because are we using perspective or are we using like feelings? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Because I really liked AOC.
He has the talent.
I do,
but he needs more polishing for sure.
Yeah, he needs more time. I think just let him sit, and then he's gonna have to compete against another quarterback next year. If he's really that guy, then he'll outplay Drew Aller or Cameron Ward or Shedeur Sanders or Carson Beck or whoever ends up with our team.
Shout out to my boy Alex B in the chat. He says Aiden O'Crapple.
He's going to be our quarterback next year. I'm telling y'all that right now.
Oh yeah, he'll be the starter, and then you got you let somebody come in and sit behind him and let him battle for second. I think.
And if we do get a good quarterback in the draft and he's better than Minshew, then we're in a good position.
Exactly. That's why you got to have a competent starter and a progression plan where you're not forcing the guy in there first thing just because he got drafted high, and then when he fails, we're like, why is he bad? It's kind of what happened with Marinovich back in the day, but there's more to that.
I like Tom Marinovich though.
Yeah, put him in early like that. He's a very talented guy, but he needed some time to develop.
Yeah, right? We put the weight of the whole Raider
whole thing. Go play the Chiefs in the playoffs now. It was like, what? Dang, bro.
We wanted to call him Stabler and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he had that too. Well, that boy was bad, man. Damn it, Marinovich. If you ever want to come on the show, bro, he was like a hero when I was a kid, bro. For real.
Yeah, I like Tom
Marinovich project.
He was a bad man.
The Marinovich project.
Yeah, man. His dad was a legend out there.
Yeah, that's true. We also had a run game last year too. So imagine what Minshew could do if we had a run game. I'm just saying.
That's very true. So looking forward to the draft. And then he was a dog at Purdue, but it didn't transition. Yeah, there's a little bit of I don't know, right? Like, where's the grit from him? Like, okay, so who is this guy, right? He's this guy who doesn't get too high, he doesn't really get excited. But then what happens in pressure times? Does he stay even keel, or does he start to look nervous? Right. And that's, we interviewed Bruce Wilkerson, Raider great, played with a lot of great quarterbacks. And the one thing he told me that you need is that when the quarterback is in the huddle with you, and it's third and long, and it's a key spot in the game, he's like, you could tell when a dude is nervous. You can just look at him, you can tell. And then everybody is nervous. We're like, oh, shit, right? What you need is the dude is third and 19, come in and he crack a joke. Everybody laughs. Who is that on our team? It's Gardner fucking Minshew, bro. To an exact. And this is before we had Minshew on the team. This is, he was not on the team. Bruce Wilkinson is not paying attention to any of that kind of stuff. He just is speaking as a veteran who knows his game, bro. Who is a great player. And that's, it's those little nuggets, man. You got to listen to people who know what the hell they're talking about, right? He was actually in those huddles, right? He won a Super Bowl, right? Like, in those huddles. He's been in those moments. So, like, I take that as gospel, right? You got to have a dude, and from my playing experience, that's how it always was, right? But, like, that's little stuff. We're talking about, the highest level, right? And that's what he had to say. And I think that keeps carrying with me, right? Like, so when AP made his decision, he said, it's because we're looking for, the veteranness and whatever. I was like, okay, who is leading the team on the sideline? Who's going to the offensive lineman and talking to them and hyping up the receiver and talking to the coaches, and who's leading the team out of the huddle, right? Out of the tunnel, I mean, and rapping and all that kind of stuff and hyping the team up for a game. Was that AOC? That stuff matters, man. Everybody talk about the most important thing a quarterback does is throw the football. It is not. The most important thing a quarterback does is keep the team organized, call the right plays, right? Get to the line, get the ball hiked on time. It's a lot that a quarterback does before there's any throwing the football that is extremely important. Extremely important.
Yeah, I also think that Tom Telesco, like, once we got Gardner, he kind of knew that Gardner was his guy going forward, and he pitched that to Antonio Pierce. So even though Antonio Pierce was saying, well, AOC is our guy, right? I think it was kind of a smoke and mirror kind of thing from them, and until proven otherwise, until AOC could really show that he could beat Gardner in preseason and show that he could be a proven leader in the huddle, and he didn't show that. So I just think since day one, since we got Gardner, he was like, it was kind of set in stone, basically, that he was going to be our guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, but that airsoft dude said Minshew is talented. Let's leave it at that. Very talented. His response to Maxx Crosby says it all when he was talking about little ass man.
Yeah.
Little ass man or little dude or whatever the fuck. He's like, not so much though. Not so much.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. That's that energy, bro. You gotta have that BDE, boy. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So,
because I think AOC would have responded to that by like a deer in headlights type deal, like.
Yeah, like they're killing me.
Like Maxx Crosby out there terrorizing me. Can y'all stop him from terrorizing me? He might not say that, but it look like
AOC would have died out there, dude. And I'm just being honest, dude. Like, he Crosby would have killed him, dude. And I'm a big AOC fan. I love AOC, but come on, man. Like,
how did he respond?
Deer in headlights, first game, and that is a kind way of saying it. That's a kind way, of like saying it. Man.
Yeah, it was his first game, so I'm gonna give him that. But Khalil Mack sacked him 6 times in that game. Did you see? Like, that was kind of the reaction where he was like, "I don't know what to do. Like, Khalil Mack is impossible to beat." Like, it wasn't like he was like firing back at him or whatever, right? So he needs to mature to be in that place, I think, to even, do that kind of stuff. And then we got our obligatory, this is for you. Winston had a lot of fire when he was talking about hitting them W's. Go ahead, Black.
There we go.
I know you all Winston, right?
I like Winston. If he wants to ever come a Raider, come holler at me.
He's backing up in Cleveland.
Yeah, they could have left him in Vegas. If he want to be a Raider, holler at it.
I will say this: Jameis Winston went after the right tackle, DeJuan Jones, after Tyree Wilson just ran by him while he was still in his stance. He wasn't too happy about that. He was giving him the business on the sideline. And you know who came in the middle of that and got in Deshaun Watson's face? Was like, hell no. That was Jameis Winston.
He's a good leader, though. I mean, I don't care.
People follow him for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It goes back to
what he's like silly to us, but they loved it.
Quarterback. Now he might be too jovial sometimes.
I was a big fan of him, man. He was super dope in college.
Okay.
Man. He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
He likes Winston. I like Dobbs and Mac Jones and Flacco. We have our difference of opinions.
Y'all like all them dudes. I'm like none of them dudes. No, zero. I don't like them. Give me the brand new car. I don't want nothing used. Hell no. I'm going to the Mercedes lot too this time. Tired of buying these Nissans, man. We about to get the real deal, boy. Let's go. All right. So, is there anything you guys want to touch on before we get up out of here? We're coming up on 2 hours. Thanks to the chat. We got 140 some odd people in the building. Can we get them likes up? Get these likes up because we want people to see us. Let's go. And then share it out.
Make sure you guys
hit
the like button. Make sure you guys go to our channels. Please sub to our channels. Yes. It's free. Yes. There ain't no charge. Yes. Worst comes to worst, if you guys don't like the content that we provide to you guys, you could always unsub, which I doubt you guys will because we're great people. So it's free.
We got big things in the making. It's only going to get better, folks. It's only going to get better. We got Western. Go check him out. Western Conference. And his channel, he will break down the stuff for you. Take the time to actually explain the nuances, and then he will give you real ass opinions, not something that's going to make you feel good, but what he really, really thinks. And then you can yell at him and stuff, if you want to. And then my boy Black, we're gonna be on.
I'll break your heart sometimes.
Raiders. Yeah, he will. Western, he be cold with it. Right? So my boy Black over here, Sam I Am, we're gonna be over here on Nothing But Raiders podcast every Tuesday, so we can kind of break down what's going on. We got the Commitment to Excellence usually on Saturdays. And then, go check him out, man. Go check out his channel. You know what I'm saying? If you're a dude watching this, then you probably want to go check him out.
Shout out to my boy Rich. Rich in the house. Yeah. I see you, brother.
And then, of course, sub my channel. Put them notifications on all of our stuff so you don't miss it. And when we do a live out of nowhere, you'd be like, oh, we got it. Because you never know, man. You never know who's going to be on it as far as players. And, I might have Bruce Wilkerson on this piece again, right? Probably will, right? So, does everybody feel like they got everything they want to say out?
Real fast. I see Raider. I'm going to have to go see that, brother. Right on, man.
What you talking about? What are we talking about?
Hey, won't y'all? Hey, somebody buy this man a beer for his.
So in the comment man. There,
like, can we for give real? Him a beer for birthday? Something. Hit his Cash App.
Yeah, hit him with a sub. Yeah, get him a beer. I'm like,
hey, man a beer for his birthday because he's gonna bring us a victory this week because we're gonna put it all on him this week.
I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm a church mouse. Oh. I'm healthy. I am.
Buy him some shrimp.
I'm clean as a whistle. I'm clean as a whistle. I don't drink coffee. No coffee. No caffeine.
Oh,
nothing.
Lord.
Let's get some money together and get the new Raider hat.
At least shrimp.
Let's get him a Raider hat.
Seafood, yes.
You like Raider hats, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I hope so.
Of course, but. Yeah. You guys don't have to buy
dessert?
Anything. All I could ask for is just for you guys to just keep watching our content. That's all I could ask for.
There we go.
For sure. For sure.
Free 99 content.
Yeah, man.
Free 99.
It's the best price. My favorite price. So, all right. Well, we're going to get up out of here since everybody feel like we did what we got to do. We're going to go ahead and beat these Broncos and keep the streak going. And, yeah, like I try to always say, man, everybody stay positive, read between the lines, right? And, stay hot. See what I'm saying?
And I always like to say, keep it cool, keep it light, keep it fresh, take care of your family, and you guys have a wonderful evening, and stay cool.
All right. Happy birthday, man. What you got, Black? Black, like, how come they got these specialized outros?
Get that man a gas card. I bet you'll take that.
Yes, you will. Gas card.
I don't drive a gas vehicle. I have a Tesla. But thank you so much.
You killing us, right?
What are you?
Appreciate you. I appreciate it.
Hey,
he
we
is
down to my
I
comment.
am him. That's who I am.
Get him a dessert, nigga. Do you eat moon pies? Can we get you a moon pie or something?
Maybe you should run for president.
For real.
Hey,
man. He's
one
like,
love,
that's what's
brother.
up next, guys.
One love.
One love to the chat. Thank y'all for showing out. Y'all was amazing today. Thank you, A-Train, for my first freaking paid, super chat. Of course, it comes from my boy A-Train. Boy, what's up? No, $2. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
We out.
YouTube takes
Stay hot.
All right, y'all.